Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show.
Cup of Joe Wrestling Show?
With Joey Harris. A podcast for the wrestling fan on the go. So take your favorite beverage of choice and join Joey as he takes a look at some of the biggest shows on the WWE Network.
Welcome to the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Joey Harris, and we are broadcasting from makeshift studios in the shadow of South Central Virginia. Follow the show on Twitter and Blue Sky at Cup of Joe Pod. Email the show at cupofjoewrestlingshow@gmail.com. You can support the show at paypal.me/cupofjoepod. I am also on Cash App and Venmo if you would like to send me a little something at the Joey Harris. And of course, patreon.com/babykangaroomedia for bonus episodes of the Cup of Joe Wrestling Show, the Joey Harris Super Show, the Green Room, the Book Club Baristas, and so much more. Just $5 a month for hours of extra content. Just this past week, recorded an episode of the Film Club with Tyler and TJ, where we discussed Tropic Thunder, as well as coming up on a episode of Cup of Joe on Patreon, Tyler and I will be looking at WrestleMania 25. So just $5 a month for hours of extra content. As today, folks, we go back and take a look at Clash of the Champions 30 from WCW. Clash 30 was shown on TBS on January the 25th, 1995 from Caesar's Palace in Paradise, Nevada. And I remember seeing this. Longtime listeners will know that I did not have cable in my house growing up, but my dad worked for my uncle in his gas station several nights a week, and my uncle had cable at the station in his office, so I went there and was able to watch the Clash live. We start out with our intro. Tony Schiavone and Bobby Heenan welcome us to the Clash and run down some of what we're going to see. WCW World Television Championship, Arn Anderson with Colonel Robert Parker and Ming versus Johnny B. Bad. Bad is extremely popular with the crowd. He does his Bad blasters, the bell rings, and Anderson wants Bad to stay back. Bad with a flurry of offense early. The crowd is into Bad. He throws Anderson outside and then hits a dive onto Anderson and Parker. Bad gets Anderson in and puts an armbar on. Anderson gets up only to get taken back down by the armbar. Bad gets a 2 count, but Anderson comes back. Anderson catches Bad coming in and slams him into a turnbuckle. Anderson throws Bad out and Parker attacks Bad with kicks. Anderson gets a rear chin lock on. Bad fights out, but Anderson hits a knee and gets a 2 count. Anderson with a back elbow. Back and forth. Bad with a head scissors and a knockout punch. Anderson falls to the outside. Parker revives Anderson with some ice water. Bad takes off after Parker. Ming throws Anderson in, Bad comes in, and Anderson hits a DDT and gets the pin. Mean Gene Okerlund interviews The Butcher and Kevin Sullivan. Sullivan says Hogan and Savage are in trouble. He says he has a plan. We get a Hulk Hogan hotline ad, an Alex Wright video followed by Alex Wright versus Bobby Eaton. The audience does like Wright. The bell rings and they lock up. Wright with a wrist lock, Wright with a scoop slam, Wright with an armbar. Eaton comes back with a big right hand. Wright comes back with a head scissors and an arm drag. Wright goes back to the armbar. Eaton begs off. Wright with some shots. He goes for a dive. Eaton ducks and Wright hits the ropes. He gets a 2 count. Eaton with a reverse chin lock. Wright comes back with a suplex. They trade shots. Wright gets a top rope drop kick for a 2 count. Wright with a crossbody for a 2 count. Eaton hits a neck breaker in the Alabama Jam for a 2 count. Wright with another crossbody to get the pin. Mean Gene brings out Vader. Gene asks Vader about Harley Race, who isn't there because he had a real-life auto accident. Vader calls out Hulk Hogan. Vader takes a ringside seat. WCW World Tag Team Championship match. Harlem Heat, Booker T, and Stevie Ray with Sister Sherry versus Stars and Stripes, Marcus Bagwell and the Patriot. Before Stars and Stripes comes out, Ric Flair's music hits and he comes out. Bobby Heenan comes over to greet him. Stars and Stripes come out, and the crowd is into them. Stevie and Bagwell start. They exchange shots. Stevie with the early advantage. Stars and Stripes drop kick Harlem Heat out of the ring. Booker and the Patriot tagged in. The Patriot gets a 2 count. Stevie tagged in. He gets Patriot down. Patriot comes back and Bagwell tagged in. Stevie chokes Bagwell on the ropes. He hits Bagwell with forearms in the corner. Booker and the Patriot tagged in. They trade blows. Patriot hits a belly-to-belly suplex. Bagwell tagged in. Stevie also tagged in. Stevie cleans house. Stevie with the clothesline for a 2 count. He gets a chin lock on. Bagwell fights out. Double crossbody and both men are down. All 4 men in. Through a series of actions, Booker pins Bagwell with a roll-up. Sherry went to hit Bagwell with her shoe, but Booker gets hit instead. Bagwell rolls Booker up, but Stevie kicks Bagwell for Booker to get the pin. Mean Gene interviews Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, and Jimmy Hart. Hogan says the odds are against them. Savage says that they've got this. Hogan says they are going to prevail. We then get WCW Control Center with Mean Gene. He runs down SuperBrawl. Sting versus the Avalanche. The Guardian Angel is a special guest referee. Avalanche gets almost no reaction when he comes out. Sting is wildly popular when he comes out. He throws his jacket at the Avalanche and they start to brawl. Sting with a flurry of offense. They fight out to the floor. Angel orders them to get back in the ring. The crowd is wild for Sting. Sting tries to slam Avalanche, who falls on Sting for a 2 count. Avalanche hits a leg drop on Sting. He splashes Sting in the corner. Sting comes back with a shoulder block and both men are down. Sting hits 3 Stinger splashes and slams Avalanche down. He gets the Scorpion Deathlock on, but Angel won't ring the bell. Referee Nick Patrick comes in and stops the match. Angel pushes Patrick and he and Sting go at it. Angel attacks Sting and the crowd boos. Angel and Avalanche double team Sting until other wrestlers come in to save Sting. The crowd boos the Guardian Angel. Mean Gene interviews Angel, who is pissed off and says he's going back to being Big Bubba Rogers. Main event, Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage with Jimmy Hart versus Kevin Sullivan and The Butcher. Michael Buffer makes the introductions. The crowd is wild for Hogan and company. Vader looking on intently. It takes a while to get started. Hogan points at Vader. Butcher and Hogan start. Butcher pushes Hogan away. Hogan pushes Butcher into a corner. Savage tagged in and attacked both heels. Hogan tagged back in and the faces did some nice quick tagging. Butcher puts the sleeper on Hogan. Hogan is out, but Butcher celebrates and doesn't cover Hogan. Savage hits an elbow drop on Hogan to revive him. Hogan with the clothesline to Butcher. Hogan attacks Butcher and Savage tagged in. Hogan argued with the referee, allowing the heels to throw Savage over the top rope. Sullivan throws Savage into a post. Sullivan attacks Savage in the corner. Sullivan with a snapmare and stomps to Savage as a macho chant goes out. They throw Savage out and continue the attack on Savage. Hogan out to check on Savage. Savage struggles to get into the ring. Savage put into the Tree of Woe and the heels goad Hogan in and attack Savage while the referee deals with Hogan. Butcher continues to attack Savage. Hogan finally tagged in. He beats on both heels and slams Butcher. Savage hits the flying elbow and Hogan hits the leg drop to get the pin. The crowd celebrates. Vader comes in and hits Savage. He and Hogan are face to face. Hogan can't knock Vader down. Vader hits a powerbomb on Hogan, and Hogan kills Vader's career trajectory in WCW by getting up almost immediately instead of doing what's best for business and staying down. He and Savage knock Vader down. Now, why should I order SuperBrawl? Vader and the other heels leave. Tony and Bobby recap what just happened as Hogan and Savage pose and then sign off from Las Vegas. Final thoughts. This sets up SuperBrawl, but Hogan killed Vader's aura. You can follow me on Facebook, Threads, and Instagram at TheJoeyHarris. If you like the show, please leave a review on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, or your preferred podcast app. I would really appreciate it. We can also be found on Spotify and YouTube. Just search for The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show and don't forget to hit subscribe. Thank you for joining me. This is Joey saying so long from the heart of Virginia.
The Cup of Joe Wrestling Show is a production of Baby Kangaroo Media.